Welcome to the first episode of Share Your Story. So, today I'm going to be reading a story from someone who has allowed me to share a current situation that they're going through. So, I'll read that, and then afterwards, we're going to do a little bit of guidance. And I do believe this person has a question they'd like answered. So, we'll go ahead and hear what they have to say. Hi, I've met you before when I went to your spring pop up and gave me such an accurate reading that really helped me make better informed decisions. Anyway, I kind of want to piggyback off of a previous reading I just saw from your TikTok titled The One That Loves You. That really resonated with me, so I'm hoping this will be more in tune with my energy. My MJ, last partner K, recently reached out to me again, wanting to meet for his own purposes. Based on the last TikTok I saw, he is definitely the King of Wands. We spoke about our relationship, and he was asking me whether or not it's something we should try and save again. Even though we had already given it a shot to try, we both even know that it makes no sense to try again now since not a lot of things have changed. But now I have two people who I'm currently in the middle of getting to know. W, who already gives me the things I now want from love, stability, security, care, etc., despite being younger than I am. J, I recently just started talking again. He's tried to get to know me twice before, and I had rejected him both times for different reasons, but he seems to be giving off the same energy as the first, so they are my King of Pentacles. The reason I chose to get to know Jay, for context, I'm not dating any of them, just talking, and they're not courting me yet as well, so are aware that I can get to know other people in the process. Is because there are complications with W wanting to court me since he used to like someone very close to me, and one of his friends likes me too. I, for one, didn't want to attach myself to one person whom I knew wasn't going to be able to actively act on courting me anytime soon, since he needs to fix quite a few things before he gets there. But I know that W is 110% sincere in what he feels about me, even if things are moving quite fast. Jay, on the other hand, I had told that I want to build a better foundation with too. To be quite frank, I am attracted to him physically speaking, like I like his face, which is also why I allowed Agreed to get to know him again, try to get to know him again, and give him a chance to see where it goes. I guess that's currently where I'm at in the story. So TLDR, K, my ex, kind of wants to come back, but also doesn't. He just wants to assess things with me, apparently. W, younger guy, very sincere and is sure about what he feels, but there are complications to him actually courting me as of the present. And J, older guy, third time trying to get to know each other because finally I feel like we're both in a good spot to actually try. Okay, so this is the guidance portion of Share Your Story. We just heard MJ's story, and we're going to go ahead and answer a question. And basically, the question here is, where do they go from here? Wanting to know, I guess, from the three options, who is the best option. So we're gonna see what the universe has to say, because it's twofold, the question, but I don't want to limit it to what has been asked, rather what the universe would probably give as guidance. So let's get three cards and let's see. Okay. I have the Ten of Cups in reverse, Ace of Cups, and one more card. Strength card. Okay. So, three cards. Let's see what these cards represent for you. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. Sorry, Knight of Swords. Okay. Let's start off with the Ten of Cups. Let's see what the universe wants to say when it comes to the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay. Yep. So the Ten of Cups representing that happily ever after, that happiness, that perceived happiness, usually the goal in life that we have. So we have the Two of Cups. This is what happens. So sorry about that. But this is what happens in tarot. The cards fall. So Eight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I do plan on having another camera set up so you guys could just see the cards while I'm actually talking to you guys. But for now, we're going to just have to show you the cards, right? Can you guys see it? Yeah. Okay, so for the 10 of Cups in reverse. So showing up as a Queen of Pentacles. So you could have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn in your chart. Now these zodiac signs, every time I mention it, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have these signs, but they're just additional indicators whether the reading is yours or not. But let's not focus on the signs. 10 of Cups in reverse. I mean, you do look like you're in search of partnership. You're in search of that one person that you're going to build a life with. It's actually what you're working towards, and I feel like you're not sure if you're going to achieve that. Let's see what the Ace of Cups is about, which new beginning in love, fresh start, new opportunity in love could be. You have the Ace of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Emperor. The energy I get off here is mostly more of the ideal that you have rather than the people you're dealing with, to be honest. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups, Emperor, Four of Swords, Ace of Wands, what you really do want is a fresh start in love, but you're seeking the right person to have that with. You already have an ideal in your head here with the Emperor, right? But I feel like it's a little forced because you might be in that phase in your life where you're feeling like, I want to be in a relationship, I want to have love, I want to be in a connection, I want to find my person, and I have three options right here. It has to be one of them. It has to be one of them, right? So what you've done is you've limited yourself to the present options that you have because of the strong desire to be with someone, have that new beginning in love, and achieve that happily ever after. What if it's not any of the three? Have we considered that? Feel like maybe not. And usually that's how people are. We find ourselves in situations, we have one or two, three options, and then we think, this is all I have to deal with, so I need to choose. There's another option. None. Okay. What about the Strength card in reverse? Now that's not to say that you don't have like a connection or investment in these people that you're asking about, but we might be placing too much on these connections rather than allowing it to be what they are. Okay. Yeah. Under the Strength card, right? Queen of Swords, you got the Knight of Swords in reverse, you've got the Seven of Wands. With the Strength card in reverse, you are trying very hard to make a logical decision in a situation that needs a balance of both logic and heart. I kind of feel like you're forcing it, honestly, with these three people. It's like it has to be one of these three, but like I said, what if it's not any one of them? Why does it have to be any one of these three? That's what I'm really getting in the cards that I'm seeing here. So, with your question of what's going to happen moving forward and, who should you choose? There is the option to not choose any of these three if these three are not fitting in or aligning with where you're at in your life. Okay. I really have to say the strong guidance I get here is not that you should not continue these connections or anything, but you might have to consider that not one of these three are actually meant to be that person that, you have that new beginning in love and eventually achieve that happily ever after with. Maybe it's not any of these three because you yourself have kind of listed down. A wants to come back, but they just want to assess things. W is a younger guy and they are sincere, but there's complications with someone liking them and one of their friends liking you. And then the third, the older guy, the one that you're like physically attracted to, this is the third time. Is it third time's the charm? Probably not, right? So it's like what are these options that you're presenting yourself? It's not a lot. It's not potential. Okay? It's not real potential, at least. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. Um, I'm still feeling a push, though. I feel like you still want me to look into it. Of course you do. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Situations Oracle deck. I'm going to get cards for all three, and we will see, of the three, if you were wanting to pursue, who would have the most potential for what you're seeking, which is this, right? And this in the upright. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Let me get cards for K. This is the X, right? Um, the one that kind of wants to come back. I mean, okay. So I'm just gonna get all the cards for now, just so that I'm looking at a picture. So this is for K, and of course I'll show you guys. Sorry I don't have a better setup. I'm just starting, so bear with me. Okay. What about W? And you know, you guys, it took me a long time to decide to go on camera just because I have a very expressive face. And when I was doing readings for like friends and people I knew in person, my face would like make certain faces, and they would like panic. And so, but I thought, you know what? I think it's time. I think I can probably handle it better or do it better. What about Jay, the dirt guy? Now, you know, you mentioned that you're not even dating any of these people. So if you think about it, there's not like a real like choice that you have to make about it, because you're just in connections with these people, but there is not any kind of agreement with any of these three to progress them, you know, to progress the connections, right? Okay, so for K, the X that wants to kind of come back, getting these cards, as I hope you can see those cards as their energy. So you have drastic, extreme, harsh, and cutoff, bounty hunter, chaser, hot pursuit, financial support, child, alimony, government. I'm gonna say for K, the ex that wants to come back, but they just kind of want to assess things. Um, I feel like I think this is somebody that likes the chase. This is somebody that they enjoy. Um, they enjoy when they have to pursue things. I feel like this is somebody that either leaves you or abandons you, or you know, even ghosts you maybe, or they have done that at least, right? Um, with the financial support card, I don't know if this is somebody that has obligations that they need to fulfill. So it's like, okay, I have time for this. Let me get back to this. And then when they have to take care of something, they leave the connection that you guys have. But I mean, I'm getting the impression that, you know, when you say your ex that they want to come back, it doesn't seem like it was repetitive, but I feel like it just in general, this is how they probably are in nature. So this is not anyone consistent. This is not anyone that you can really rely on, because when you need them the most, they're probably not going to be there. Okay, so that's a consideration. W, the younger guy. Okay, now you say they're very sincere and they're sure about what they feel, but there are complications. Now, guidance and experience tells me that when somebody is actually very sure about how they feel, they don't let anything stop them. So even with the situation where you're telling me, you know, that they give you all these things, the love, the stability, the security, the care, however, it cannot be pursued because someone very close to you, um, since he used to like someone very close to you, and then one of his friends likes you too, these are not big enough barriers to stop somebody from pursuing a connection with someone. It, that's just fact. When we want something, we want someone, we will have hesitations, yes, and we probably will have to take time if we're very considerate of the situation before we pursue it. But that shouldn't stop somebody from pursuing the connection. Okay, that just means the investment is there, feelings are there, but it might not be strong enough to pursue. Okay, And this person, again, that's funny. Like the Forbidden Tragedy card came out, right? Which seems to be like somewhat what your situation is, where it's like kind of forbidden because of the all the friend factors that you have there. Um, I have journal writing, diary keeping notes, and waves. This is somebody that could like to write down their thoughts and feelings, or just a mental writing down of their thoughts and feelings. So I get that they are more caring, more emotional in nature. I guess that's why you get that sense of stability, security, and care, because they are somebody that actually is able to show that, because that's their makeup, you know. Now, you did say this is the younger one, so you would have to consider that the reason the waves emotions cards comes up is because although they possess these qualities and show these qualities to you, it doesn't necessarily mean that the stability that you require in a commitment with someone is something they can actually give, right? There's a difference between the two. So that's what we have for W. Now for J, the older guy, third time's a charm. Um, you have these three cards. You guys can see that. Okay. So these three cards, we have magnetic, okay, an unexplainable pull, can't resist. You got happiness, the wholesome, overjoyed, smiling, um, poison, toxic, unhealthy behaviors, people. I mean, the cards in itself, to me at least, are pretty obvious about the person, their patterns, the source of why you feel like there's potential. As you mentioned, older guy, third time to try, and that you are physically attracted. And you know, when we're physically attracted to someone, somehow it always carries a higher pull, right? So that's where that magnetic energy is coming from. At the same time, that happiness, probably because you did have a lot of, you know, happy moments with this person. But I'm gonna have to point out the poison card, which, trying the third time, that alone should tell you enough. It's not that it's not worth trying again, but if we're trying for the third time, okay, and you just, it's like there's no surety to the situation, and you just want to, for the heck of it, your energy in the base reading that we had shows me a much more certain outlook. You know what you want. So if you're very clear about what you're desiring and what you want, why are you thinking of pursuing things just for the heck of it, right? So because of that, I feel like that's why you're placing yourself in this situation where, oh, I have three people and I need to make this choice and it has to be one of them. I'll tell you right now, it's not any of them. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, okay? That's probably not what you want to hear, but it is what I'm getting. So again, I will leave it up to you to decide if that resonates. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, but that's what you've got for me today, okay? Now I'm going to just do a little bit of guidance. You are definitely trying to rush towards a fulfillment, a joy, or a happiness that's not exactly there. You're trying to rush towards something that's not there. I would say what you want, probably, it's a potential. I can see that because you seem very clear about the idea of what you have. It's just your desire for this is misplaced in these three people. Um, the long game, the long term. It's better to wait for the real thing than to settle for any of these three options that clearly all have not the best potential. That's not to say that, you know, these are not worth pursuing, because at the end of the day, it has to be you to decide where you put your energy, your time, your effort. But I think if you're going to be honest with yourself, you clearly know what you want. And none of these three fall into any of those categories that you have in your head about what you really want to truly have. It's like, oh yeah, that person has this person has that person has this. And that's all well and good, but again, the guidance I always give here is what is the best optimal potential? Okay. This doesn't really show that. So I think, yeah, I think, I like how the cards are coming out. I think you need to give yourself more time to really think about this. Listen to yourself, because you already, in your reading alone, what you're showing me is, I know what I want. I know what's going to make me happy. I know eventually what I want to build towards. None of these things are presenting that potential. And here is what you actually want. And you did mention, you felt like W and J were your King of Pentacles. I'm going to break it down just a little bit. Okay. King of Pentacles is somebody that is consistent. They are there, they provide, you can rely on them. They will basically be your partner in all aspects. Okay. Now, you say W is the King of Pentacles, right? Because they give you that love, stability, and all of those things. And although they are younger, they have these qualities. But at the same time, you're telling me there's complications. Complications that, this is the way I do readings. So I'm sure you're aware. I think you mentioned that I've done a reading for you. These are complications that are very high school. Oh, I can't see this person because he used to like someone that was very close to me, and then one of his friends likes me too. Is that enough of a reason to not pursue something that you believe would be a lifetime that you'll have? Right? So how does that fit the King of Pentacles perspective? Okay. Now you say J is the King of Pentacles too. I mean, okay. Remember, consistency, providing you what you need, kind of leading the relationship in a way. Okay. They're older, yes, but why is it taking 3 times to establish something that you should already kind of be sure of? It's because we're grasping. We're grasping at straws. We're trying to cling on to whatever small potential we have here. So that doesn't necessarily make them this. Now, I know the series, right? The King series has all these characters, and a lot of you guys are really resonating. And although I really, of course, appreciate that and respect all of your guys' interpretations, sometimes we try to make things fit where they don't. Okay. So I'm hearing myself talk, and I know that I'm kind of sounding harsh. I hope I'm not too harsh here, but I'm just putting forth what I think, for one, you guys are expecting of me, but for another, what you probably need to hear. Okay. You have the King of Swords in reverse, and you have the Ten of Wands. It shouldn't be this hard. That's what it's basically saying. The right person will be there at the right time, whenever that is, and they will be vocal, they will be sure, you will not question it. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not saying there aren't complications and circumstances and all these things, but when it comes to you and this person, you're not going to have these kinds of things to think about, honestly. I feel like like I said, you already know the kind of person that you want to be with, this Emperor. You're making it work. You're too hard. You're trying too hard to make it work. That's what it's basically saying. So that's what I have for the tarot card guidance. Now, I am going to end this reading with Oracle guidance, obviously. I like to do the Oracle guidance, and I'm using the Healing Spirits Oracle deck. I'm going to get a couple of cards for you. Now, this is my first foray into doing the readings this way on YouTube. I hope I hope I didn't scare you guys off. I have a ton more stories to share, definitely. But please feel free to send in more stories if you guys have stories you want to share, and if you're ready to get the guidance that I have to give. Okay, I know I can be a bit of a tough tarot reader, I guess, But again, it is about needing to hear what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. Okay. One card. You've got very specific guidance. Okay. All right, the first card, it says true love can never really be lost. See that? That's clear enough. Next is universal love is true love, so love all. And the last card is if the world around you seems turbulent, stop. Now, putting all these cards together, it is obvious that love is really at the forefront of what you are trying to achieve in your life, right? You don't have to grasp and try so hard because it's not going to slip through your fingers if that love is really meant for you. I know it feels like that, especially in situations where we think we've found our true love. And even if they were the true love, if they did slip through your fingers, then it just wasn't meant to be. Because unfortunately, that's what life is about, meeting people with that potential that we have. And then wherever we are in our place in life, they are in their place in life. If it doesn't sync up, then it's not meant to be. So you don't have to be chasing it this hard, putting forth these options that aren't really the best options for you. Okay. That's me telling you, you know what? You actually deserve somebody that is sure. They know what they want. They're not gonna be, trying to assess things, or they're not going to let complications get the best of them or get in the way. And they're definitely not gonna make it so that there had to be a third, fourth, fifth, whatever try. Okay. Um, universal love is true love, so love all. I feel like this is the guidance the universe is giving me to give to you, to say it's not that these connections again are not significant. Um, and in some way you have feelings or love for each of these people, definitely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that these are the life choices that you have. Does that make sense? And if the world around you seems turbulent, stop. So I'm getting a tendency here that you probably get overwhelmed. There might be times where panic may be setting in because of these, perceived options, these perceived problems that you have. Take a breath, take a deep breath if you have to, and realize, you know what, it's not that bad. It's not really a problem just yet, is it? I'm not being forced to make a decision or a choice because I'm not dating any of them, for one. And another, there's no clear intention that has been brought to my attention by these three options. So take a breath, okay? And I feel like that's the guidance that I have for you. I hope that this wasn't too hard to hear, and I hope that you guys like this new segment that I have of Share Your Story. I'll be doing this, for now I've set it at once a month because every week I will be releasing new episodes every Friday on different topics. So this is Share My Story, and then Share Your Story, and then next week we will have the King series, and then the following week the Twin Flame, and then the fourth week it will be an open topic. So I plan on doing this once a month, but if I'm going to continue to get more and more stories, then I might try to do the Share Your Story more often than that. But that's what we have for this first episode. I hope you guys really like that. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, comment down below, all that stuff.